Hey guys, it's Jackie. I hope you're all doing well. I am filming for the first time out on my back porch this season. I've got Jazz here and I'm not sure about the setup of this. It is the first time that I've used this phone out here on my back porch and she keeps knocking everything. She's sitting right here. You guys watch TikTok and watch where the cats are doing all their crazy things. I don't know, she's not amused. Anyways, I have a thought or a subject on my heart. It has been bothering me for a couple of days, so I want to use my platform to talk about it. I by no means think that I am somebody who should have an opinion, or if she's gonna start biting me, she can go bye-bye. It's a love nibble. I by no means, am somebody that should have an opinion, but some of my videos that I post are inspirational or motivating, and I just cannot stop thinking about it. And what I want to talk about today is Rachel Hollis. If you guys don't know who she is, she wrote the book Girl Wash Your Face and Girl Stop Apologizing. She's a motivational speaker. She hit several notes for me in her books and who she is as a person. I watch her here on YouTube. I've watched her wherever I see her. I always pay attention to what she's saying. And if you didn't know, her and her husband just mentioned that they are filing for divorce. I don't believe that it's final. Today is June 24th, I believe. The days are all running together. I just figured out that next week is the 4th of July. Literally, as I was leaving work, I said, wait a minute, next weekend's 4th of July? Time is flying. So it was announced on social media. I've watched one other person talk about this, but it really resonated with me because I've looked up to her, and my video by no means is going to be a bash session. If I see you bashing her in my comments, I will delete those comments, just because I want this to be a place of kind, this coming out of love. But I want to title my video, Rachel Hollis, Girl, What Happened? And I also want to remind you guys that we are all human, no matter where we are in life, no matter what kind of decisions that we make. But I relate to her on some different levels. We were both raised Pentecostal. I relate to her on that. I'm always trying to be perfect, or to not necessarily, be somebody that I'm not, because I preach, be yourself, everybody else is taken. And she kind of has that message too. So I feel relatable to her. And I also have always reached out to her on social media to get her attention to see if she would respond to me, and it has never worked. She doesn't even know I exist. Anyway, so it just is bothering me because, based on, the information, that her and her husband have put out over the last couple of years, she has millions of people looking at her. And I totally respect that everybody has a past, everybody has issues. I have no idea why they are getting divorced. I know that they've been married for 18 years and that they have 4 children. And I know that she just exploded overnight. She became extremely popular. She is so motivating. I feel like she is so kind. Whenever I watch her stuff, I feel like I'm talking to a friend. And so I posed the question, what happened? What happened to her marriage? What happened to their marriage? And I don't know, a lot of you may not know this, but I was married before I married Joe. I was only married for 2 years. So I know what it feels like to have a failed marriage, and I know what it feels like to have a failed marriage inside a very Christian environment. I feel like, we were raised that you get married, you stay married no matter what, unless, your spouse or significant other has cheated on you. There's biblical scripture that back that up if you are a Christian and you follow the Bible. So I feel like too, in our day and age, that marriage is throwaway. It's just like everything else. Oh, somebody offended you, somebody made you mad, you throw them away. And that's true too with marriage, because it is a life commitment. And trust me, Joe and I have been together now for almost 17 years. It is not always perfect. It is not always a walk in the park. And I by no means am a marriage expert, but I've been married twice. Still doesn't make me an expert. And I by no means know why Rachel and her husband have filed for divorce or they're getting divorced. But I did hear one podcast, and this is kind of what triggered my mind. I was riding my bike today after work, and I thought I have something to say, and I want to say it and get it off my chest. But they talked about them becoming famous and wanting bigger and better things. And I really hope and pray for their marriage, their children's sake, that that's not the case. I feel like she's a humble person. So if she ever watched this, I feel like she would sit down and listen and say, yeah, you're right. But I was riding my bike and I thought, I wonder if my mom put them in the timeout that she used to do to my sisters and I. And that's where she would take 2 chairs and face each other, and we would have to sit there until we could get along again. Now, I have heard of get along shirts where 2 people would get into the same shirt, like it has 2 holes and 2 arms, and you can't come out of it until you get along. And I feel like in today's day and age, especially having gone through what we are coming out of, and that I'm hopeful that COVID is behind us. I have no clue what that even means for our future. But I wish, like in today's day and age, that her and her husband could sit down and say, okay, where did this go wrong? Now, technically, or supposedly, she made a post on her face or her Instagram that they are best friends and that they're going to co-parent together. But can you guys make it work? Because you have millions of people watching you. And I know just because you're famous, you shouldn't stay together. If it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. But could you try and show us, the rest of us, like, if you can give good marital advice and show us what that looks like, become famous, and then start to fall apart, show us how you rebuild that marriage. Now, again, I have no idea if somebody stepped out of the marriage. I don't know if somebody had a change of heart. I don't know. But I feel like it's worth a try. Like, your marriage, Rachel, is worth you trying to figure out what you can do. And then once you guys get on the other side of it, because marriage is a commitment, it's a choice. Being with somebody is a choice. Just like I choose to go to work every day, that's my choice. I choose to be married to Joe. He chooses to be married to me. It's not always easy. Marriage is not a walk in the park, like I said. But I choose love, and I choose to love Joe no matter what. Some days he drives me nuts, and I know I drive him nuts. I by no means think I'm perfect. I know that I have a lot to offer as a person. I know that I'm a good person. I take care of the people I love. I take care of my family, my home, my job. I care. And so I care, and I live through my heart because, you know, that's how I am as a person. I don't know if it's because of the way I was raised, whatever. That's not this video. I'm not going to talk about the way I was raised. But I feel like, can't you make it work? Like, just because you became famous, I don't know. Like, what is it about your relationship? Like, and then you can write a book in a year or two and say, girl, I made it happen. I made it work. We went through A, B, and C. Like, this is what happened. We have 4 children together. Pressure got to us. Fame, you know, being famous got to us. Being pulled in all these different directions. You're a mom. You're a writer. You're an entrepreneur. You're a wife. You're a family member, a sister, whatever. Like, come out on the other side and tell us how you made it. I myself want to be a motivational speaker. I've always thought about that, but not at the cost of my family and my relationship and my marriage. But we all want to be, you know, we all want to make it. We want to be an entrepreneur. We want to be self-made. We want to be a millionaire. You know, I made that video and then some people had some really nasty things to say about that. So you trolls can move on. This is not for you. And don't forget, if you don't say something nice or you can't be nice to me or my family on here, you will be deleted. Friendly reminder. Can't believe I have to say that. We are all adults. But it's just so important to me that take a step back, find out like why you fell in love with him in the first place or fell in love with her in the first place. What about your relationship that you're willing to work on and try to figure it out? And then let's take Rachel Hollis out of it altogether. If you're struggling with your relationship, why did you fall in love with them? What ticked all the boxes for you when you said I do, or you committed to your relationship no matter what your relationship looks like, what kind of relationship you're in? Why did you fall in love with them? And then think about what your life would look like without your person. And that's where I, like when I'm upset, I think back and I'm like, oh my God, I wouldn't have the A, B, or C without Joe. I would miss this, I would miss that. And those outweigh the negative that happens. And everyday life can really start to suck your joy out of you, but try to find out what it is about your person that makes them your person. I hope that makes sense to you guys, but if Rachel Hollis ever watched this and commented, I would just be over the moon. I will not judge you if you decide to get divorced and go through with it. That is your business. But girl, we are wanting to know what happened. So Rachel Hollis, girl, what happened? I hope you guys are well. I hope that this video was some sort of entertainment or makes you think about your relationship in a sense and put it in perspective. And don't forget, be kind. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. And put love out there. I hope you guys are well, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.